Hello everyone, I haven't done this yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Dave. I am a freelance graphic designer and comic book artist. I currently live in Ohio. I am the creator of the webcomic Daxon the Grondax Legacy. There will be a link in the description below. Be sure to check it out. In this video, I'm demonstrating how I use 3D models in Clip Studio to help me lay out a page. This is a tremendous time saver for when I just can't decide exactly what pose or camera angle I want to use. It gives me a lot of freedom to experiment and make any adjustments without drawing, erasing, drawing again, and so forth. For starters, I very roughly lay out the page that I have in mind. There is no need for fine details or perfectly clean lines. Typically no one but me will see this stage of the process. This is just for me to quickly get what's in my head onto the screen for visual reference. For those who are curious, I am using a Wacom Cintiq 12WU. This is an older Cintiq. It's not even full HD, and I'm pretty sure it's one of the smallest ones that they've made. I am using Clip Studio at the moment. I also use Photoshop CS5, and I also occasionally use Sketchbook Pro 11. So here in my layout, I have two characters in the foreground peeking over the bushes, and they're watching this third character. This is the introduction to this character. She is an elf, and she is facing off against four kobolds. For those of you who don't know what a kobold is, it is a small dog-like creature. It's kind of half human, half dog. Not to be confused with werewolves or worgens or any other creature like that. These are like the lowest form of that kind of creature. This is basically the layout of the page that I see in my head. I've imagined this page, and I've gone through several different angles and how I wanted to present the character for the first time. This is basically exactly what I was thinking. It's very rough, obviously, but I see it. It looks like it all fits on the page nicely. You can see the two characters in the foreground, and it gives a pretty good idea of what's going on. I'm pretty happy with the way this is looking right now, so I'm just going to leave it at this, and then we're going to go on to the next step. Now I'm going to import a 3D model to the canvas. I have one previously built and saved that I was using for another character. This character, however, is a slightly different build, so I'm just going to make some minor adjustments. Elves in my world are tall, slender creatures, so I'm going to just adjust this a little bit. I'm going to adjust the head and the torso to make her just a little bit taller. I do want her to be just a little more hefty than the model is at the moment, so I'm going to also increase the girth of the torso just a little bit. This interface in Clip Studio is really nice. You can change so many aspects of the 3D model to really make it your own character. Because my elf is going to be a recurring character in the comic, I am also going to save the preset once I'm done making the adjustments. Now I'll find a good pose to start with. I already know what the character is doing, so I'm just going to look through the library of poses that's included with Clip Studio and find something somewhat similar to what I'm looking for, just to have a good starting point. From here, I'll make adjustments in the pose to fit what I have laid out. The legs look pretty good, so I'm just going to adjust the torso a little bit. Because this character is an elf, I want her to be standing tall and proud. She's also holding a staff in a battle-ready position, so the arms are going to require some adjustment. There's no real secret to this. I mostly just do trial and error until I find something that looks good. The adjustment tools do take a little bit of getting used to, at least for me they did. You got the 3 access points, you got the X, Y, and Z, and you got a little thin line there to grab a hold of and move it around. I'm sure there's a more precise way of doing this. This is just the way that I've taught myself, and it's the way I do it. Now that I'm reasonably satisfied with the pose, I'm going to resize the model and fit it onto the page so that it fits the layout. At this point, I see that her arms are just a little higher than what I would like, so I'm going to go ahead and make some final adjustments, and then we'll be ready to move on to the next step. Now that I am satisfied with the pose, I will reduce the opacity to around 50%, create a new layer, and roughly sketch the character. I have placed a ruler mark on this layer to temporarily represent the staff. I haven't drawn it yet, and this is just to give me a reference as to where it will be. I don't necessarily trace the 3D figure, I just use it for reference. The character's face is a little more narrow than the 3D model, so I'm going to take that into account. Also, some of the joints are a little distorted, like the wrists and other areas. I'm still going pretty rough at this point. I just want to get the character on the page, make sure all the important elements are there, and just get her sketched out and get her on the canvas so that we have something to work with later on. Once the character is all sketched out, I will be free to fill in the rest of the page and then finish the process. I will be making more videos on each step of this process. I hope you find this somewhat helpful, or at least slightly entertaining. Be sure to subscribe for more videos, and also check me out on Patreon. Link will be in the description. I also do fan art occasionally from movies, comics, anime, and manga, so if you have a favorite character you'd like to see me draw, feel free to leave a suggestion in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.